For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. Alexei Navalny, the fiercest foe of Russian President Vladimir Putin, who crusaded against official corruption and staged massive anti-Kremlin protests, died in prison today. This according to Russian authorities. He was 47 and was serving a 19-year sentence on charges of extremism over his criticism of Putin. According to the Federal Penitentiary Service, Navalny felt unwell after a walk and lost consciousness. An ambulance arrived to try to revive him, but he died. Navalny's spokeswoman Kira Yarmysh said on X, formerly Twitter, that the politician's team had no confirmation of his death so far, and that his lawyer was traveling to the harsh, high-security prison above the Arctic Circle, where Navalny was transferred in December of last year. Navalny had been behind bars since January of 2021 when he returned to Moscow after recuperating in Germany from an assassination attempt with a nerve agent poisoning that he blamed on the Kremlin. He had since received 3 prison sentences, all of which he rejected as politically motivated. Before that arrest, he campaigned against official corruption and ran for public office. He was a central galvanizing figure in protests of unprecedented size against the Kremlin and dubious national election results and practices. He also faced criticism for some of his past nationalist stances, including supporting the annexation of Crimea in 2014, though he was against the war in Ukraine. President Joe Biden has again cautioned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu against moving forward with a military operation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah without a, quote, credible and executable plan to protect civilians. According to the United Nations, roughly 1.4 million Palestinians, over half the territory's population, has sought refuge in Rafah to escape fighting elsewhere in Gaza. UN Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths said there is no plausible way to evacuate Rafah.
Gaza is an illusion. We need to push back on the calls that we're all hearing from the authorities to say, you must help us move the people of Gaza to some safe place. This is an illusion.
However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed today to reject, quote, international dictate on a long-term resolution of Israel's conflict with Palestinians. Meanwhile, new satellite imagery taken over the past week by geospatial intelligence company Maxar Technologies show Egypt is leveling land near its border with the Gaza Strip and building a wall ahead of the planned Israeli offensive in Rafah. Egypt has not publicly acknowledged the construction, but has repeatedly warned Israel not to forcibly expel the residents of Rafah across the border into its territory. Earlier this month, Egypt issued a statement warning Israel over its possible Rafah offensive, indicating the move could threaten the 1979 peace deal between the two countries that's been a linchpin for regional security. Greece has become the first Orthodox Christian country to legalize same-sex civil marriage, despite opposition from the influential socially conservative Greek Church. A cross-party majority of 176 lawmakers in the 300-seat parliament voted late yesterday in favor of the landmark bill, drafted by the center-right government of Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Another 76 rejected the reform, while 2 abstained from the vote and 46 were not present in the House. Michaelis Bortzis is a Greek LGBTQ activist who celebrated the bill's victory.
Happy. As someone who grew up in the countryside, this is a dream I've waited for many years, just like all of us. Literally, I am at a loss for words. I'm no longer a second-class citizen. We have the same obligations, but now we also have more of the same rights.
The bill also confers full parental rights on married same-sex partners with children, but it precludes gay couples from parenthood through surrogate mothers in Greece, an option currently available to women who can't have children for health reasons. Many LGBTQ rights advocates have criticized that limitation, as well as the absence of any provisions for transgender people. An FBI informant has been charged with lying to authorities about a multi-million-dollar bribery scheme between President Joe Biden, his son Hunter Biden, and a Ukrainian energy company. The claim is central to a Republican impeachment inquiry in Congress. Prosecutors say Alexander Smirnov falsely told FBI agents in June of 2020 that executives associated with the Ukrainian energy company Burisma paid Hunter and Joe Biden $5 million each in 2015 or 2016. The allegations became a flashpoint in Congress over the summer as Republicans demanded the FBI release the unredacted form documenting the allegations, as they pursued investigations of President Biden and his family. An attorney for Smirnov declined to comment on the allegations. I'm Scott Baba for Pacifica Radio.